Oh man. Uh, okay, I'm the bad, Lance is the good, and Chuck's the ugly. Okay, all right, we'll go with that. I'm a bad guy. I'm just so horrible.
Dennis. It's a quite long time and it's amazing you still remember it.
Dennis The Manace.
Now we're going to smoke the magic apple.
But I mean, John Wayne Gacy, when people think of him, it's like a ugly old fat man that dressed up like a clown and like fuck people to death. I mean, that guy is just fucking horrible from the start.
Can you tell me about when you visited John Wayne Gacy in prison back in the days?
Who's the worst guy, John Wayne Gacy or Darth Vader?
How was it? How was he? And what was the purpose behind the visit?
And John's like, yeah, you know, I could have that fucking guy come over here and kill you right now. He starts laughing. I'm like, oh, thanks, John. He's like, yeah, I could come and break your fucking neck before the guards can get those doors open and come get to you. He'd break your fucking neck right in two. He starts laughing because he starts telling us about how he guy killed his whole family with a shotgun for Christmas and shit.
God damn it, man, you play the drums and I fucking play the guitar. Fuck, man, we should start a band. What do you think Gacy's and Dahmer's band would sound like?
It would probably be disco and classic mixed together or something.
Hey, cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Long time no seen.
Hell yeah, brother. It's been a while.
Yeah, how are you?
Hanging in there, surviving this fucked up disease that's floating around.
Yeah.
Virus. It's not I guess it's a disease. The COVID cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible. Very horrible.
Yeah, and how was it to release a new album during COVID?
It sucks because we can't really promote it too well. Yeah, it's kind of a drag. No one can promote their stuff. Everyone that's coming out with new albums just has to sit around and kind of wait, you know, till the storm clears, if it ever does. So it's scary. Kind of sucks, man.
Yeah. And your mother is well?
Yeah, actually, she's doing pretty well. She's a little sick right now. I've been having some issues back and forth. It's like, you know, that window of, she's 89 years old. It's 22nd of this month's her birthday. So she's getting up there. She's getting a little bit on the older side. So yeah, it's scary, you know, but so far she's okay. It's like a full-time job though, you know, taking care of her almost. It's just it's quite demanding, but she's doing it.
When I think of Dennis The Manace, Dennis Ritchie, I think of person always gives like spreads laughter, do crazy shit, and he's also a mother's boy because every time I see like an update on Facebook, it's like, this is my lovely mom, she's blah blah blah. Yeah, and it's fucking nice to see.
Woman. She's taken care of me all my life as a kid, you know, when I was younger. So and kept me out of trouble, so to say, in a way. So I owe her the best I can do, right?
Yeah, you just ended up in Macabre.
Right. What the fuck? And I raise butterflies, you know, who knows? Go figure.
Yeah, you have butterflies and monarchs.
Monarchs and moths. I do a lot of moths and monarchs, yeah.
Moths. And how big is your population of moths and monarchs?
Well, it depends on the season. Like this year, perhaps, I pretty much raised what it was over 100 monarchs this season. So, which was really cool. It helps the environment, I think, a little bit. I don't know, you know, I do my best. They say 1 out of every 100 dies, or it's like, what is it? 1 egg out of 100 lives. So basically, you know, the survival rate is really pretty shitty in the wild. So
yeah,
I try to.
But you release them into the nature. Is that it?
Yeah, I feed them for about 2 or 3 days and then let them go. Yeah, I actually feed them a honey water solution. The monarchs. Moths don't eat, so moths they just pretty much mate and die after about a week. You know, they don't live very long. But the monarchs will live for about a month or two. So until they actually migrate, you know, for the winter. So it helps to whatever I can do to help. I help out because they're kind of getting extinct. You know, they're on the endangered species list almost. I mean, it's like pretty much to where they're going to be cast pretty soon if we don't do something. So I'm trying to help, man. That's what I do. I get stoned. I mean, I partake in the 420. Let's say keep it PC. So I partake in the 420 and I raise monarchs. It's pretty cool. It's actually kind of fun, man.
Yeah. Fuck, man! I didn't know that you released them like into the wild. I thought in my mind I saw like huge rooms of glass where you had them at home. It's like, look at this, but that's fucking
No,
cool.
no, I do mount some of my specimens, not the ones that I raise. I try to let everything go, but I do get specimens that are dried already, and I'll put them behind glass for people, like death head moths. I've sold quite a few death head moths actually to people. So, and they're, you know, actually obviously macabre fans, but
Yeah.
it works. You know, people dig it. You know, it's different. You know, it was a hobby. It just started out kind of like a hobby, and it's just something I do. You know, I could mount stuff that's worth $400 or $500 to up to $1,000. It depends on the species, you know. But it's just something that's cool to fuck with.
Oh, okay, so it's also like a small business you run from home.
Well, I could if I wanted to, sure. If I you know, if I actually applied myself to sell a bunch, yeah, people would keep buying them. I've sold quite a few of different items, you know, different specimens that I've done, different like blue retinor. It's like a blue morpho. Different types of moths, like the birdwing moth. And that's not a moth, it's a butterfly. I'm sorry, my mind's going. No, it's the bird wings are just like giant butterflies. They're fucking huge, like 8-inch wingspan almost. They're really different colors: blue, green, orange. People are, you know, they buy them. If I'm on them, they'll buy them.
Oh, fucking cool. I tried to describe you earlier as I don't know, a person who always spreads laughter and like a funny guy with positive energy, fucking crazy drummer, and again a mother's boy. And you also have this huge population of flying little bastards.
Yeah.
And I asked Dan Lirker to describe you, and he was like, "Yeah,
Dennis, and I'll say this because I love him, but Dennis is basically Quagmire from the Family Guy.
Jiggity jiggity. I don't know. Hey, that starts from way back. Jiggity jiggity jiggity. That goes probably back to fucking 1994 when we did the Punch and Stench Brutal Truth tour. Well, our first European tour, and because we were me and Lance, you know, Corporate Death, we were kind of like the guys that were always running around for the girls, not, you know, chasing girls all the time, but, you know, we were kind of considered the Salami brothers.
This is one for the ladies, but fellas, listen closely.
You know, chicks dig garlic, okay? But you gotta have the big sausage to go with the garlic.
So the Salami brothers are kind of legendary on that tour in a way. So I guess it kind of is coined from that way back then when I was kind of on my wild side in my early 20s, you know. What was I, 23 years old, 24 years old? You know, hey, when you're young, you have fun, right? I kind of sowed my oats and slowed down a little bit, but jiggity, jiggity, jiggity.
I was fucking young when I met you the first time. It must have been, is it 10 years ago?
Yo, yeah, it's about at least, yeah. It was a while ago. Yeah. Time flies though, you know. It's like I lose track so easy. You can blink your fucking eye and a year's gone like a month, you know. Boom. Yeah. It's so quick. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I remember it like it was like yesterday. I just looked back at all the tour memories. I had a shitty Zoom camera that I ran around with all the time, and Lance didn't like it.
Yeah, well, that was fun. Yeah, they got me fucking with the paramedics that one time. I remember I saw there. Yeah,
in Germany.
Yeah. You got to bust the paramedics' balls once in a while. I mean, come on.
Yeah. You have one life, fucking have fun with it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You only have one. It's short. A lot of times it's short for a lot of people. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't look like you have aged more than like 3 years in like 25.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep up, you know. Don't have a belly really going here. Just a matter of just working a lot and fucking staying active, you know, keeping yourself busy. Staying away from hard drugs. You can't do the hard drugs. That's the bad thing too. It'll fuck you up.
That's a good thing for the YouTube community.
Yeah, that's right.
Tips and tricks from Dennis.
Exactly right. Keep yourself clean. Beer is about the worst thing you should do. Whiskey, okay. Alcohol, it's like a demon in a way, you know. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, a little bit of 420, you're okay.
Yeah. Let's start with talking about the new album, Carnival of Killers. What's your general feeling about the album? Are you happy with the outcome?
Yeah, I think it came out really well. I mean, considering it took us 10 years to do, but but no, I think it's for what it is. Yeah, it came out good. I mean, I can't complain. You know, it has a variety of styles on it, obviously. You know, we're not just keeping it one certain style of just all day long fucking pounding blast beats, which a lot of people love. I love it too, but you know, we try to keep it different. We want to just we don't want to stay on that same plane of just fucking one style. We want to try to break it up, which we always do. So as you can hear on this one especially.
Yeah, for sure. I remember it must have been, I mean, that must have been like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and we met you guys at, I don't know, Maryland Death Fest, somewhere. I really can't remember, but I think it was Chuck that sang the chorus of The Wheels on the Bug. And he told us about your plans on making this song, or he sang it to us. So it must have been at least 5 years ago.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff's been in the works for quite a long time, actually. So a lot of this material, like a couple of the songs are actually from back like 1983, 84, before we were ever Macabre. So,
oh, cool.
So, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff that's been rehashed and some stuff that's pretty much basically really new. But it's just overall, like I said, I'm happy with the overall recording. Seems like it came out pretty decent. Volumes are good. The tone's good. I think I would have probably done something a little different with my drum tone, but I didn't have much time to work on that. It was pretty much the last minute thing where it was done, to where I lost control over that part of it aspect a little bit, which I would have probably just had a little more attack on my bass drum. That's about it. And, maybe a little more cymbal. And that would be about my only complaint, is my cymbals could be a little louder, my double a little bit more louder, maybe a little more attack, and then you're good. But it's a great album. I feel like it came out pretty damn good. So.
Yeah. I totally agree. And it's fucking released on a huge label. I mean, it's fucking Nuclear Blast, and that's a big step up from the older releases. What's your feeling about that?
It's always, it's a positive thing whenever you take a step forward, obviously. I feel really good about what happened. I mean, as far as the band is going to hopefully gain more fans, which is our goal, is to gain more fans. We always want to have more people that appreciate what we're doing. But in general, that's a huge step forward. And I know some people are probably, I don't know if they're upset with it because we've switched, hands with different people, but things happen along the way. That's how things go with life. I mean, it's one of those things, I mean, you have to better yourself. And we just felt like it was a better move to just step forward and go with Nuclear Blast, because they gave us a great offer, and they're a huge label. So, and it was just one of the things where you can't really tell a band that no one wants to hear new stuff. That's a big mistake for any label. So when a label tells you that no one wants to really hear new stuff, it kind of makes you feel like, well, then, we got to do something different, because that's just our feelings. We always want to put new stuff out instead of touring old stuff. We want to always do new stuff. So that's kind of where the bridge kind of split up for labels and stuff. So, so to say, I just don't want to get into detail about what happened, but yeah, it's just one of the things where it was probably our best move to go forward, and, that was a big step forward. So yeah, it worked out great. I'm pleased. Yeah. We're all pleased. Yeah. The label has been great so far. Nuclear Blast has done a great job with like the videos and stuff they put out for us. Production so far has been great. I mean, I can't complain at all. So we're all really actually super excited, and happy with everything. So like it was basically, was it 93 when we signed with Nuclear, when we did Sinister Slaughter? It was actually initiated in 1993, I believe. So, it was a long time ago, and it's great to be back. That's all I could say. It's just, it's about time, actually. Took too long. Yeah. It took too long to get back on Nuclear, but no, it's kick ass. Cheers once again to that. So.
Yeah. Dude, something freaky just happened. I watched documentary about Ramirez, and I had like 20 minutes left, and suddenly it just pushed play in the other room. So just let me take that one off. Yeah, it's fucking weird. I'm alone here. So how the fuck did that happen? So give me like 30 seconds and we just play, push pause, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
I'll come back. What the fuck, man?
All right.
Freaky fucking shit, man.
Yeah, kind of freaky, huh?
Yeah, that fucking
Those
freaked me
freaky
out.
cars.
Yeah, I actually got some
Those
goosebumps.
Fucking
It's like-
Dahmer. Dahmer's coming to get you. Ah,
Holy
Gacy?
shit. Yeah. That's
he's
That's
all,
a-
wait a minute, man. Wait.
that's the kind of shit that I watch and listen to. I always listen to podcasts about serial killers, about what is it called? Like specific branches of religions where they do fucked up stuff like kill each other and like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Sects, is it called that?
Cult-like stuff, huh?
Cult.
Like cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that fucking
Wait,
freaked me out. I
cult.
fucking got goosebumps. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, crazy, creepy shit happens, huh? Sometimes, right? Hey, I believe in like poltergeist and fucking shit. I've had some weird shit happen to me, man. So, dog
That-
toy flying through the air. One of my dog's toys flew off the fucking ground about a foot off the ground, man. Just fast too. It's like from the other room too. Just it was bizarre. I'll never forget it. So no one was there to throw it though. It just came from another room in the room I was standing in. So and a friend was there too. One of my buddies was there with me and saw it and freaked out. I was like, what the fuck? So very strange. So you can't explain that kind of shit. You know, what was it? Residual energy. I don't know about that one either. There's more to it than residual energy, guys. But that's something no one knows the answer to, right? The afterlife. We'll all find it out.
Yeah, I don't feel that discussion. I think we can talk about that topic for like 2 days, you know. But
Right, that can go on forever.
let's do that in a tour bus instead.
Yeah, exactly. With some beers and some whiskey.
In your opinion, what's the biggest difference between the new album and the last full length, Grim Scary Tales?
What's the difference between the two as far as like
Like the biggest difference?
I think the difference between the two obviously is, to me, is there's just a definite different quality of music. Grim Scary Tales was definitely crushing in certain ways. It has a lot of pounding stuff in it, but I think this one's a little more musically versatile. You know, it's this new one just has a little more variety, you know, and it's a little bit more raw as far as like it's some of our old school stuff that's coming at you. Like fucking Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse is fucking really old. That's something I was playing when I was like 14 years old, you know, 1983. But I wasn't playing double bass like that back in 1983 to it. You know, it was more, you know, some slow doubles and more like kind of fucking Black Sabbath-y groovy shit, you know. But of course it's revamped and it's heavier now. But that's an old song. It's got an old groovy. It has an old feel to it. You can tell it's kind of like, it has that old metal kind of sound in a way. But it's kind of hashed up with some more doubles and stuff that are a little bit faster than the old school metal. So so that one's old. So is Corpse Violator. Corpse Violator goes way back. That's like another song that's probably from like 83. You know, so long time ago.
Yeah, this is a perfect time for a question from a guest, a Swedish guy called Björn, actually.
He's the coolest guy with the name Björn that I know, and he asks me awesome questions, yeah, on video. Follow that vehicle.
Hello, Dennis The Manace. This is Bjorn Larsen. I'm wondering, I mean, you're one of my favorite drummers. Your bass drum work is subpar. I don't know what that means actually, but I think it's very good. And my question for you is, you have a very particular way of drumming, which makes a lot of sense in the macabre context. And was this like a conscious decision for you to sort of drum in a rushed way to make the music sound more chaotic and psychotic, actually? And would you be comfortable playing in another type of band where you have to like stick to a metronome in a sense, if you know what I mean? Keep up the great work. The new album rules. I've only waited for it for like 3 months now since I pre-ordered it, so yeah, it should probably get here one day, and then I'd be a grown man. Cheerio, toodle pip.
What's your answer to that?
Well, he's right. I try not to, I'm trying to just break my style up. I don't want to play just the same thing all the time, which I kind of do. I mean, my double bass, it goes back and forth. You'll hear a lot of metronome fast, 30-second notes, and then I'll switch back down to the slower beats. But it's something that I just like to incorporate. I like to incorporate that switch. I call it a switch, obviously, where you can turn it on and off whenever I want to. I can go to 30-second notes in the blink of an eye, or stop and go into a fucking fast blast beat. And it's just to be able to switch it up without flaw. That's the thing, and have it clean. A lot of drummers have trouble with switching cleanly to different styles. It's hard to adapt. It's actually hard to slow down for a lot, even for me. I'm so hyper as it is. So for me to slow the gears down is very difficult. But I could do it. I could sit back and play blues. I could play jazz. I could play whatever you want to play. But in my music, what we're doing here with the metal and the stuff that we're doing, I try to incorporate some of the, I guess you could say, jazz fusion riffs here and there, like with my ride and stuff. I try to break it up and give it a different feel. With the double bass, I try to keep the metronome to where it's never the same in a way. It is, but it isn't. I want to, I just don't want to be the same all the time. I want to try to keep it different and just fluctuate. That to me shows a little bit more of a quality drummer when you fluctuate instead of just straight ahead all the time doing certain styles and that's all you do. You want to be versatile. So I try to incorporate versatile as much as I can with doing quads. If you notice, I throw a lot of quadruplets in my style. There's a lot of, triplets, different simple riffs, but it's a signature riff, that I incorporate. Like for instance, in Joe Ball, you'll hear how I do the quads in there, and that's just something that's my style. It's what I thought of. It's just something off the top of my head that felt like that's where something should go with quadruplets out of nowhere. Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's I don't follow the metronome totally, although it's built into my head. I figure just try to break it up as much as you can, but keep it clean. Don't sometimes people can get too fancy and can fuck the recording up. So in the studio, I try not to go too fancy, but a lot of drummers will shy away from that overplaying, because if you fuck up, you got to start over again, or you got to punch in. I don't believe in punching in. I like to go straight through, start to finish without cheating. I call it cheating when you cut something in or try to punch something in.
Yeah.
I like to do it cut and dry, one take. Grim Reality, for instance, all those songs on Grim Reality were done in the first take. The first time I sat down and recorded, except for one song I had to do twice, was I think Hot Rods to Hell. All the other songs on that album were done in the very first take when I sat down. So, and I try to pride myself on that. I try to work fast in the studio and just try to like I said, one take on each song. Most albums are done like that, to where most of my takes, I've had some songs where I'll have to do 2 or 3 times at the most, but I try not to go and punch stuff in and doctor it up and chop it up. Excuse me, that's a bunch of bullshit. So I believe in cut and dry, first take, or if you can, at least whatever take it is, it's from the start to finish without punching anything in. So that's something that I try to do.
Yeah. I really dig that idea. And one thing that hits me is like, even if I only heard the drums in Macabre, I could still say that this is Dennis The Manace that plays. You have a fucking signature in that way, because there are many drummers that can like play fucking fast, and but they don't have that thing that says that's you. You know what I mean? And you can hear it's you that plays it, because it's fucking. Yeah, I think the best way to say it is fucking psychotic. Is that all right?
That's fine. It's a psychotic style. It's also how you attack your instrument. It's hard to explain the way, but I mean, I guess that's a good way to explain it. Is I attack the fucking drums when I'm in the studio. I play them with, power, and just that's the thing, is play with power. It's going to come through the recording. If you're playing lightly, or you'll always hear that in the recording. You can't fix fluttery, light finesse style playing or whatever it may be. You know, if that's what you're going for, that's what you're going for. When you're playing metal, you try to pound it out. So attack, you know, that's important to play with attack when you're in the studio. And that comes through in the recording. You hear, that's what you hear from a musician. You kind of notice it, just like Richie Blackmore. You know, when you hear Richie Blackmore playing as a guitarist, it's the same thing. It's the style of guitar that he's playing and the style of playing. You know, it's Richie Blackmore whenever you hear it.
Yeah.
Or John Bonham's drums. I mean, when John Bonham played something, you just knew it was John Bonham. The sound of his drums and the way he attacked his drums. It's identifiable, you know what I mean? So with me, I try to attack my drums in a way that people remember. When you hear it, you're gonna know it's me because of the way it sounds, especially live. That's important live. I don't believe in doing something on an album and you go see it live and it's not the same. I want you to come see me live. I'm gonna kick your fucking ass and blow you away. It's gonna be better than the album. It's my goal, is to try to be better than the recording, or at least as good. Try to keep the par, but you know, that's important to come off live too, the same way you do in the recording, and to just play with power. That's always been my main goal. And I could tell most of the drummers that I would talk to, if I can give you any point or any tip or any advice, would be to play with power. You know, you play a lot of fast double. There's a lot of fast guys out there that flutter the fuck out of it, man. They're doing that swivel technique and it's super, super fast, but they don't have any beef behind it. There's no raw punch you in the face. You know what I mean? You don't feel that attack. You feel that attack live. You feel that attack in the studio. If you don't have that attack, it's just really not there. That's the best way to describe it. So play with attack and fucking power like you mean it. Play like, I always tell drummers, play like you mean it. Hit them like you mean it.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Tips and tricks from Dennis again. Fucking awesome. Do you ever care about what listeners think about your music? I mean, are you one of those persons that can stay up late at night, like lying in your bed and go through Facebook comments? It's like, what the fuck? They don't sound like the first album, you know, that kind of shit. Do you
know, that kind of stuff? I kind of laugh. It kind of bothers me a little bit, but then I kind of laugh and just figure, you know, not everyone's gonna like what you do. You can't please everybody all the time. So if they don't get it, they just don't get it. But a true fan is not going to say that. A true fan is going to understand what we're doing, no matter what we do, and they're going to like it. I mean, it's like they could say that with any band, Slayer, any big band. Not every album goes and kicks your fucking ass, does it? I don't think so. I mean, most bands put out an album or two that's not the heaviest, but it's still them. You still like it because it's them. Doesn't matter who it is, whatever band it may be, because it's them and you're a true fan, you still love it. And eventually it becomes an album that's just as good as any other because you listen to enough and it just becomes something that grows on you. It's just, that's usually how it works for me anyway. Even if there's a band that comes out with an album that I don't particularly care for at first, until I listen to it a few times, get a few runs, and then eventually you're like, this is great. You know, sometimes it just takes a bit. But yeah, if you're a true fan, you don't judge it that way anyways.
I totally dig what you say. I've come across a lot of like elitists in the metal scene. It's like I'm the biggest fucking fan of this band, but I only like the 4 first albums. And let's take Metallica for example, because it's a fucking easy cheesy one, right? So this comment on Facebook that I wrote, it was something like, so if you were a real fan and you only like the 4 first albums, are you a real fan? Because they have fucking released like 10 albums after that. So who is the biggest fan here, really? You catch my drift, right?
Of course, yeah. That's exactly, that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
If you're a true fan, as long as it's not like, oh, these guys switched all the members, it's just one guy that's the same guy, and here's this new album and it's totally sucking ass, you know. Well, of course, well then that just sucks, right? That's pretty fucking stupid.
You're talking about bird flesh.
Sorry, man. No, I'm just saying, in general, my point is, you know, it's not like we switched up all our members and we're doing something totally different. We're singing about fucking the birds and the bees and flowers now, you know. That's not what we're doing. And we're just telling a story. We've always laughed at people, well, these guys are playing and they're trying to praise these killers and do it. No, we're not. I don't know shit about them, to tell you the truth. I'm the guy you don't want to ask questions about, because I probably can't answer half the shit you want to know. You're gonna have to talk to Lance, Corporate Death. He's the guy that does the lyrics. He's the guy that writes all the vocals, pretty much, you know, all the lyrics. So we're not a bunch of serial killer crazy, you know, like that's all I think about and do, you know. No, it's not how I am at all. You got me all wrong. And we don't promote that in any way, as far as like this is what people should go out and do. Of course not. You'd have to be fucking totally stupid to think they were all behind going out and killing people. What do you think? This is a story we're telling behind music. It fits the name macabre. It describes anything horrible or ghastly. It's just common sense. And we're just telling a story, just like any fucking reporter. You see Geraldo Rivera or fucking Barbara Walters on 2020. They do all these huge reviews or interviews with these serial killers, and everyone's, oh, let's watch this. This is great. And make all this big cash out of it. And no one's pointing a finger at them saying, what the fuck are you doing? Maybe some people do, but it's like most people just want to see it, right? They're interested in it. So it's the same thing with us. We're just telling a story behind music is all we're doing. It's not like we're advocating it. We're just explaining something that happened to people. And we do a little humor sometimes. Sometimes we get people to laugh, it's not always so serious. But,
That's like blaming the director of a horror movie for like the content. Yeah, you catch my drift. They want to fucking tell a story, but they do it by picture. You do it by music.
Right.
So it's like exactly the same thing. Yeah, I have had that discussion so many times with people, and it's so retarded that they really can't like figure that out in some kind of way. But I guess what they have a problem with is like the fascination about a subject.
Right.
But I mean, I can totally dig that people like serial killers or like Star Trek or what the fuck ever. It's like,
right. Well, it's one of those things where, and people always mention about the families of people that have been, victimized or whatever. And, of course I feel bad for anybody that's lost anybody in any kind of bad way in any shape. Death is just horrible to begin with in general, no matter how someone dies. And of course, getting murdered by someone is just the worst way to go. So that's, to me, is horrible. I mean, what do I say? I could say I didn't kill anybody, and I'm not trying to make a joke out of people's deaths. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to joke about it. By no means, we don't, like I said, we're not advocating it in any way. We're just telling a story. So I hope people don't take us wrong. That's where we don't want to be taken wrong. I think that we're advocating anything horrible or like this. This isn't something that we advocate. So
I don't think the viewers have that in their heads when they're watching this. I don't think that you promote fucking killing, but when you like flip the coin a little bit, I mean, you sing about serial killers, and if you like the specific theme, like serial killers, just flip the coin. If somebody loves Star Wars and they dig fucking Darth Vader, I mean, who's the worst guy, John Wayne Gacy or Darth Vader? I mean, one guy's fucking ruined the universe. One guy fucking kills a couple of children. I mean,
well,
you catch my drift here, right?
Yeah, I catch your drift. Yeah.
I mean, about that, I told you about the reference about like a director of a movie. We actually have another viewer's question, and this is Luis from Spain.
Spain for questions for Bingo and friend Jay.
So here we are, another day in snowy Spain with this asshole. He likes to eat snow. Anyways, today's question for my friend Dennis is, what is the most fucked up movie you've ever seen? Mine, personally, will have to be Salo, 120 Days of Sodom.
Horrible, but it's fucking good movie, but you can't fucking watch it.
I've seen this movie so many times. I go back to it every like 6 years, and then it always reminds me what a fucked up film it is. And yeah, that's my most fucked up film. You can say any fucked up film. It doesn't necessarily have to be horror, Straw Dogs is a pretty fucked up film, and it's not even horror.
Boy, that's tough, man. Reanimator was kind of just a gross, kind of weird movie, but it wasn't that bad. Reanimator was kind of out there, but as far as scarring me goes, boy, it's like I said, that's a tough one because there's a lot of gross movies out there. So it's hard to pinpoint just one specific sick, gross, grotesque movie. Shit, I've seen a lot, so I can't just off the top of my head, this is the worst one. That's tough. That's a tough one.
But the first one in mind is Reanimator.
I guess.
Yeah. But that's a fucking answer. I mean, good for you. What's
seemed pretty gross and weird, and for its time, it was just one of those underground kind of fucked up movies.
My other question is, being a Chicago homeboy, where can one pick up the best deep dish pizza?
Oh, he's going for the pizza question, huh? And of course, everyone thinks he's going to say, I'm going to say, well, let's see, Lou Malnati's. No, it's good. Lou Malnati's is pretty good, but it's not the best. Oh, fuck. Well, that's a tough question. There's a lot of good pie places in the city, for one. My Pie's pretty good. Say My Pie's up there. Shit. Heck, there's just too many. Like I said, I'm so burnt out I can't remember half of them anyway. So, but the My Pie's pretty good. I'd say go try some My Pie if you ever can.
Yeah.
They're a real slice of pie, man.
Is there any pizza in Chicago that is vegan? Do you know that?
Oh, I'm sure there is. Has to be. Yeah, I'm not a vegan, so, but I'm sure. Yeah, most definitely.
But you're used to vegan food. I mean, you wear a Obscene Extreme shirt.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, tofu.
Yeah.
Actually, Kirby brought me to a place that was just really, really superb. Actually, vegan food, excellent. So, in Czech Republic, we were in downtown Prague, and really good food. It was excellent pasta.
Do you remember the name?
Don't remember the name of the place. Kirby will remember the name of the place. But I just remember the food was kick ass. It was just delicious, man. I ate every fucking bit of it. Clean my plate, so to say. It was really good.
Dennis, it's quite long time and it's amazing just to remember it. That day was perfect. Like we were hanging out in the Prague's downtown, and the restaurant you mentioned, it's Clear Head, really like super bomb vegetarian and vegan restaurant in Prague's downtown.
You played at Obscene Extreme how many times?
I believe not 3. I think at least twice. I'm saying well 3 actually. Twice in Europe and the one in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure maybe even 3 times. It's been so. It's the times are so sporadic and in between. I forget how many times now. At least I know for sure twice I've seen Extreme. This one here and then the one before, which was like 2000 shit. I don't even remember. Terrible.
2000
yeah,
shit. Perfect.
2000 shit. Something like that. That sounds like 2020. 2000 shit. Anyway, yeah.
That's a fucking perfect description
Right
of
there.
that fucking year. We won't even mention that fucking bullshit year. Fucking
No.
2020 that fucking sucked ass big time.
Over.
God damn it. The general feeling, we can just be short about this one. The general feeling of not being able to tour with a new album and like fucking share these crazy songs with your fans. I mean, how does it feel? Do you have a substitute in some kind of way?
It sucks. How does it feel? It's just horrible. That's how it feels. It's the worst feeling in the world. To not be able to go out and promote your music and be able to play for people live. It just feels like you're definitely trapped, you know. It just sucks. It's a bad feeling. You know, I've been wanting to play the new stuff now for the last year, pretty much. So it's a shame, man, for everybody. All musicians and people are feeling this. So, and it's just devastating, really, because you know it just shuts everything down. What do? You just hope for the best and hope that people keep listening and enjoying stuff until you can actually tour, you know. That's all you can do.
And when you're out, when it's possible to be out touring again, what songs are you personally looking forward to playing the most from the new album?
Oh boy, oh shit, all of them, the whole damn album. No. Honestly, I love Gacy. The Gacy song is great. You know, Stinky's just fucking one of my favorites. Honestly, I love the slinky part. Pretty cool. So, you know, Stinky would be one of them. Joe Ball, it's a great song. Corpse Violator, Slaughterhouse. Obviously, Wheels on the Bug.
Yeah.
Everyone, pretty much the whole album for me is I'm ready to just go and fucking blast it out. So, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. You know, that's the thing is especially with the Stinky song. I think that one just has some versatility in there that's, just different. Drumming's different on it. So that one for me is going to be really cool to play live. And of course, I do like the Wills and the Bug too. That's kind of a catchy little ditty there.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun live. I enjoy that one.
Yeah. And you mentioned John Wayne Gacy earlier. UK from Birdflesh.
Hey Dennis, can you tell me about when you visited John Wayne Gacy in prison back in the days? How was it? How was he? And what was the purpose behind the visit? Cheers. Cheers.
Basically, he was fucked up, for one. Yeah, it was very bizarre to fucking meet the guy. Threatened to kill me. Yeah, he threatened to fucking kill me and shit. Yeah, it was pretty wicked. It was one of those things where, like I said, it was just disturbing in a way. What can I say? It was John Gacy. I mean, and the guy actually tried to touch my shoulders and shit. I was like, what the fuck? He walked up behind me to throw some garbage away and he says, you look nervous. You need to settle down. He's handcuffed like this. His hands were in front of his body. So he's able to move around and do stuff. So he walks behind me, and as he's walking behind me, he grabs my fucking shoulders and squeezes and tells me, you need to relax. I'm like, oh, fuck, this guy's touching me, man. How many guys he's killed with them fucking hands or whatever. He's just, whoa, So that was creepy in general. Then he's threatening to kill me with, there was some 6'2" big biker looking dude, fucking all tattooed and just real muscular, Scary looking guy. And John's like, yeah, I could have that fucking guy come over here and kill you right now. He starts laughing. I'm like, oh, thanks, John. He's like, yeah, I could come and break your fucking neck before the guards can get those doors open and come get to you. He'd break your fucking neck right in two. He starts laughing because he starts telling us about how the guy killed his whole family with a shotgun for Christmas and shit. This is a crazy story. But then he's threatening to kill me with this fucking guy. Then he starts like, oh, no, I'm just kidding. Relax. But, just bizarre. I mean, the guy was definitely wacky. Talking to him, he'd go off into tangents. He'd be talking about something normal, just normal conversation, sort of, just about his paintings or something. Then all of a sudden he'd go off into some sexual weird shit that he's done with people, like his sexual partner that he had with his wife. That was just goofy shit, and just weird. And then he started talking about other stuff and go back into his painting things, and then just weird shit like, you probably tasted some of your own, haven't you? Asking me about weird shit like that, just goofy fucking. Yeah, it was a strange experience. But the reason why we went is because Lance, the guitarist, Corporate Death, was getting custom paintings from Gacy. He's got probably at least 8. He's got one of Pogo on a stick. He's got Albert Fish, Zodiac, a few other different killers that John Wayne Gacy did for Lance. And that's why we were going, is for Lance to get these paintings. And also to get a couple pictures for like promotional purposes, which Chuck didn't want to go one time. Me, Lance, and Chuck were supposed to go together, all 3 of us. And Chuck just thought it was bad mojo and just didn't want to do it. So that's why we don't have a band photo of all 3 of us with John Gacy. I've got one by myself. Lance has one by himself of Gacy. But so that was kind of the reason to go, is for like promotional purposes, plus for the paintings for Lance. So that was it.
I can totally respect Chuck's decision, and I can totally understand your decision. Do you understand me?
Yeah. Right. I felt kind of weird about it myself, I have to be honest, Like, it's like, oh yeah, let's go meet John Gacy. I was like, kind of like, this is kind of fucked up, man. But in a way, it would be kind of weird to do, because the guy is a famous, killer that everyone knows who the fuck Gacy is. So it was a part of history in a way, but kind of like one of those things where I probably could have lived without doing it too. Obviously, it doesn't make you or break you. But I don't know. It was just one of them things where it was a spur of the moment thing, and he's gone many times, Lance, obviously. I only went once. And it was one of the things where he made me the offer, hey, I'm going to go get some paintings from Gacy. Do you want to go get like band photos? And we'll have Chuck come with us and we'll do a band photo with it. And then we could use that for promotional purposes, whatever the fuck, just to have it. And Chuck didn't want to go. And I was like, well, it might not be still a bad idea just to go to get an autograph. Maybe that's worth some money. I could try to sell it. I know even his autographs was worth money. So it was just one of the things just to do it. But, whatever. I've got some stuff, though. I got the picture that's autographed by him. And I've got 2 matchboxes that he drew little drawings on for me and autographed both of them, like Grumpy and Hitler. So that's kind of tripped out. I could sell those on fucking eBay, right? I got a fucking Gacy Grumpy and a Gacy Hitler on fucking Matchbox fucking stripe, the lids for the Matchbox, the matches.
Holy shit.
Public. Yeah, pretty cool. And I actually got prison cigarettes that he gave me, a full pack of cigarettes that they make in the prison. It's like, hey, you want some smokes? He gives me a pack of cigarettes. It was fucking pretty wild, I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I still got the pack sealed and, it's brand new with the fucking 2-pack of matches that he drew on, So that was kind of tripped out. It was. I gotta say, it was a weird experience to say the least. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, when I think of John Wayne Gacy compared to other like serial killers, I mean, some serial killers become pop icons, more or less like a cultural phenomenon, like Manson or Ramirez. They got romanticized in some kind of way. But I mean, John Wayne Gacy, when people think of him, it's like a ugly old fat man that dressed up like a clown and like fuck people to death. I mean, that guy is just fucking horrible from the start. I mean, you can kill with class. It's still wrong. It's still totally fucked up. But I mean, you can do it with class and have a cool name. But this fucking guy in a fucking clown suit, fucking.
He was definitely just fucking the worst. One of the worst. He's right up there with Dahmer. Him and Dahmer could be like best friends probably. But buddies, pals, yeah.
No fucking word can fucking describe.
You know what I mean? Could you imagine them two getting together, Dahmer and Gacy? Hey, what kind of meeting would that be? Who would kill who first? I'd have to go for Gacy killing Dahmer. Dahmer was a pretty big guy too, though, supposedly 6 foot whatever, kind of a tall dude. But Gacy was kind of more stocky, probably just attack you with that cloth. Oh fuck! No, man.
Creepy
Scary.
shit.
Yeah, creepy shit, man.
Just imagine if they didn't get caught. They met each other at the bar and decided to, how many bands forms? Like, God damn it, man! You play the drums and I fucking play the guitar. Fuck, man, we should start a band. I mean, how many times has that happened to you? I mean, especially in the young days, we should start a band. Somebody comes up with an idea when they're drunk. What do you think Gacy's and Dahmer's band would sound like?
It would probably be disco and classic mixed together or something. Yeah, I think Dahmer probably listened to some disco stuff or something, funky. And Gacy might have been a classical kind of guy, so you never know. Might be some classical funk kind of shit going on.
Like Danny Elfman.
Who knows, right?
Earth, Wind and Fire meets Danny Elfman, something like that. Tim Burton kind of shit.
There you go. Exactly. That's exactly what I was poking at, man. Yep.
Holy shit.
Oh, I could hear it.
When you think back, when you look back to the time that you spent with Lance and Chuck, what's the best tour memory? It doesn't have to be with them even, but what's your best tour memory from all over the years? Like, what's the fucking craziest positive thing that happened that was like, this is so much fun, I can live on this feeling for fucking 10 years? And it doesn't have to include drugs.
Well, that's another great question, because there's just so many great memories on tour that I've had, throughout the years of doing this since 1993, basically in Europe. It's been a lot of years of traveling all over Canada, Australia. So that's tough. But I guess I'd have to say it would go back to when I was with Pungent Stench and Brutal Truth in 93 in Europe. My culture shock was heavy. I'd never been there before, really. We were there prior to that, just to Finland, just one time. And so that was our first big fucking shock as far as being overseas. And back then, the currency was all different in every country. So where we went, we had different currency to try to understand, which was a trip for me. So everything just for that was just unreal. 1 second, I gotta get this out of my way here. Yeah, so that in itself was incredible. But if I, you know what, can we pause and it sucks to pause right now, but I'm gonna have to just pause for a second if you could.
Dennis The Manace.
Good morning.
How you feeling?
Great.
Good show so far, right?
Good show so far. Nice girls so far. Yeah, I got lost yesterday,
Oh, you kidding?
but I found my way home.
What time did you leave?
I left prison.
Prison?
I broke
This
out of prison.
Morning,
I got-
Shaggy.
I got home from prison at 9 o'clock in the morning. Now we're going to smoke the magic apple.
Let's see, what else? What else can we do? I got in a fight in Czech one time. Got my eyes split open here.
Oh shit! Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was an old fucking guy, too old, no neck Polish guy. And I was yelling at our bus driver and stuff, you know, a Heavy Eddie, the old famous British bus driver. And I had to defend our bus driver. So I came running out there and the guy's like, oh, come running at me with his grocery bags and just pop me in the fucking face. From this point, yelling like an old man. I'm thinking this old man's just going to be yelling at me. He comes running up and just plows me. Groceries flying. I see bananas and apples and shit flying everywhere after the guy decks me in the fucking face. So, of course, I'm like, okay, fucker, it's on. So we're kind of sparring there and I kicked him in the stomach. He bent over. I kind of punched him in the face. It was a quick little scruffle and goofy, you know. I don't want to have to be brought with some crazy boxer looking old guy though. That Jeremy from fucking Brutal, was it, Broken Hope, he was with us at the time they were opening up for us, and Jeremy saw some of it and he was just like, holy shit, you know. He's freaking out. He's like, that guy was kind of scary because he was this big kind of fucking, you know, scary husky kind of guy. So that was kind of fucked up, getting my face opened up. The scar is gone, luckily. I don't see it anymore, but he opened me up a little bit. And I remember them taking fucking grain alcohol and putting it on a rag at the bar. We had no antiseptic or anything to clean it out with. So I'm freaking out. So they bring me in the fucking venue, and the waiter or the bartender girl, she pours the Everclear on the fucking rag and swipes it on my face, and it burned like hell. But you know, Everclear is going to kill anything that's in the water. It's 101 proof. You know, it's 100, what is it, 200 proof or whatever it is. So it's grain alcohol. You know, it'll fucking kill anything. So it worked. It made it nice and clean. Obviously, the next day we were in Germany. We had to leave, drive. So it was a Sunday. Nothing's open in Germany. It was East Germany, so it was really fucked up because we had to fucking walk like an hour to a hospital so I can get a little bandage on my face, you know, a little band-aid and some ointment. But so that was a crazy experience in itself. Just a lot of good. I can keep going on and on.
But hey, fucking go on. I mean, I could talk for hours about fucked up shit. I mean,
yeah, you know it. Yeah.
Give the viewers the most juicy fucking stuff that they won't hear in another interview.
Juicy stuff. Yeah, they can get real juicy. I don't want to dig that deep, guys, man. I don't know. You know, I can go on. I have some great stories with Brutal Truth and all kind. I mean, I just could just so many different things I could tell you. But you know, we'll save those for another day when we're on tour, on the bus. Okay, man. No. Yeah, and so besides the crazy currency when we were in Europe and that crazy tour that we did for 3 months, which I never wanted it to end as far as when we were in Spain. We were in Benidorm, Spain. We had a little holiday there. We had some time off, like 2 days in Benidorm, Spain. Beautiful, beautiful place. I mean, it was just, what a beautiful culture. I mean, just everything was unreal there. Just beautiful atmosphere. The beach with the island that was about 1.5 miles out into the ocean. It was a little island that you could take boats out to. Or ride your little fucking, you know, ski-doos or whatever. And then there was a big fucking hill that goes way up that overlooks the whole, you know, like beach area, which is really cool, with the giant cross on top of it that was lit up at night, which was really, really cool to go up there. And we took scooters, Lance and I, and rode it all the way up to the top of the fucking thing. And that was something that was just the scenery there and just the food. Just excellent, man. We had fresh calamari from the ocean, giant calamari rings. They were like fucking onion rings, huge, just super, just incredible. So yeah, that was something I wish could have kept going and never ended. That was pretty badass. So yeah, that was a great tour. No doubt. Oh, a great memory was with Danny though, Danny Lokler actually. And we played Danny Lokler's wedding, which was really cool when he got married to his beautiful wife Heather. And then we were at the reception, which was kick-ass, really super cool to see Scotty in there too with his girlfriend, I think it was at the time. But yeah, that was really a cool memory there to actually be able to play Danny's wedding at CBGB's in New York there. That was fucking pretty kick-ass. So yeah, we shared some good memories, most definitely.
How well do you know Danny? I mean, how many tour days, how many days of your life have you spent with Dan Lilker?
Mr. Lokler. Yeah, well, I could say we spent a lot of time together on the bus here and there. Well, the Brutal Truth tour was huge. That was, 73 shows, 3 months basically of Europe together on the same bus. It was like 72 shows in a row almost, with like just a few breaks here and there, but it was quite, the extensive European tour, to say the least. And when you're on a bus with someone for 3 months, you get to know everyone really well. So yeah, it's like we became brothers, I would have to say. I would like to think, I mean, I would think that after spending that much time and learning people and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, we've got some great stories and great memories, I mean, like I said, we go back to I wasn't called Quagmire back then, but back then, I was considered the Salami Brother. I was one of the Salami Brothers. That was our nickname back then. So Danny kind of coined that one too, the Salami Brothers. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was El Cacino from fucking Punch and Stench, Martin. I think he gave us the fucking Salami Brothers nickname and just kind of stuck. But no, we definitely had some good shows. That's for sure. Some great memories. We had a show where they tore the fucking first 5 rows of fucking seats out of the fucking floor at a fucking, it was just insane. It was some fucking, where the fuck were we again? God, I feel so bad I can't remember where the hell we were. But it was just so long ago that I can't recall where the fuck we were. But they tore the first 5 rows of seats out of the ground, bolted in, demolished like rows of seats. Just, it was mayhem. So, great memories for sure. I want to say, I don't think it was Portugal, but I want to say it was Portugal, but I know it wasn't. But something like that, one of those countries. Just a lot of great tours with Punch and Stench and Brutal Truth. As far as not tours, but the shows themselves were they were all pretty much great, kick-ass shows. Every one of them was just crazy. A lot of people, good crowds, crazy people. So yeah, for that, as far as Danny goes, I would say that was our most time spent on the road, but yeah, we have some stories to tell.
When you look back on like time spent, when you look back on your career as a musician, is there anything that you wish that you would have done differently from the beginning? And is there anything that you would like to, I mean, if you could speak to the 20-year-old Dennis, what tips and tricks would you give that guy with the knowledge that you have right now?
Mostly tips would be just to keep my mouth shut more.
Yeah. Not in this context though.
Keep my mouth shut a little bit more. Keep my fucking opinion to myself more than I normally do. And basically just not bitch as much. I used to be kind of a complaining motherfucker on the road sometimes because of the fact of dealing with equipment was always a problem for me. Like even till this day, I still kind of bitch about equipment when I'm live if it's not up to my standards. I think you know that. So so maybe not being such a little whiny bitch on the road when it comes to the tour stuff, like the gear and shit. That would be my biggest tip to me, being as a seasoned musician now. When you're on the road, just deal with it, shut the fuck up, get the job done, and go on to the next show.
I'm happy I'm happy you said that, because one thing that I remember is that like the Dennis that I know after the shows, like having a laugh, drinking, doing all this fucking crazy partying. I mean, for me, that was one of the most great experience of my life, going like the Rompeprop, Macabre, Birdflesh tour. Fuck man, that has fucking shaped me as a person actually. But one thing that I remember was that you are one of those person that gets stressed while on stage, because I get the feeling that you are afraid that you think that things will fuck up, and you complain about small shit that you don't need to complain about. Because I come from a punk scene. We have like a Swedish word for it. Is that what you are talking about?
That's fine.
Is that what you are talking about?
No, I'm talking about me bitching about, like, if the kit's just a piece of shit and it's making my playing difficult. If it's hampering my ability to play, I'm going to be pissed off. So I'll be bitching, which is pretty much all the time, because most of the kits on tour that I get are pieces of shit. Not, whatever. It's just how it is. I can never get a beautiful, decent. I had a couple times, I can't lie. I've had a couple times on tour where I've had a nice Yamaha drum set, double bass. Both bass drums were the same. Wow. And all the toms were the same, and they had the right amount of toms, which was amazing. And all the skins were the same. Wow, I gave them a fucking A+. And it doesn't happen all the time like that, though. And it'll hamper you. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. If you're not used to playing hydraulic drum skins, and all of a sudden you're playing on hydraulics, that's a piece of shit to me. They're dead. There's no feeling. You got to adjust your playing. You don't have time to adjust your fucking playing. So therefore you're fucked. Or if the fucking gear is just crap and it's breaking constantly, you got to keep shit's falling down on you because it's just garbage. That hampers your playing, which hampers your performance, which makes me angry. So therefore I'm going to be kind of pissed off. So that's what I have to do. That's what I'm saying. It's not bitching so much about gear. If it sucks, just manipulate it, break it if you can, I guess. I don't know. Abuse it the best you can and get to the next show. So yeah, just not bitch about gear so much anymore. That's just the way that's something you just have to, I guess, deal with. On the road, that's a lot of time. Most of the time when you heard me complaining was over gear and just performance because of being hampered by the gear. So
yeah,
that's
that reminds me, I gotta tell you, when the Birdflesh landed in Mexico City, we had a deal with a booker that he should provide us with instruments. And when we land, he barely speaks English, and he says guitar, bass. And we were like, wait, you have guitar and bass, right? You have guitar and bass here. And he looked like a fucking question mark. So we had to borrow equipment every night. And the only decent equipment that we could borrow was from PLF. You know Dave, right?
Yeah.
So like one of those shows, I had to play a fucking like a $100 guitar with 2 A strings. So I had to lower it down, but it was like too thin. But it was like complete shit. But what I noticed afterwards is the crowd was just as pleased as any other show.
Right. Yeah.
Is it in my own head? But I mean, that was a fucking extreme. But how much is in your own head, and how much? I mean,
it's probably more in my own fucking head a lot of times. You're the worst. I think sometimes you could be your own worst critic. You know what I mean? In a way, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, probably the worst memory for show wise would be the one in Mexico years ago we had, where my kit they had for me was it wasn't even a drum set really. It was one bass drum that was probably like a 18-inch bass. It was just like a floor tom almost with legs. Okay. I swear to God, it had a fucking little thing, a rod that came up with a fucking tongue on it that held the tom on. So there was one tom and a floor tom, like John Bonham, a 3-piece drum set. A crash that was like a fucking tin can. No, I had my cymbals. That's right. I was able to use my cymbal. They had tin can cymbals up there that weren't real cymbals. But anyway, so it was this 3-piece drum set, and we were on like a cement floor. It was this little place, bar in Mexico. And I was freaking the fuck out because I'm going to play macabre stuff with single bass. What the fuck am I going to do? I mean, I can't, I got to have fucking double. So I had to borrow someone's double pedal that I'd never played in my life. That was beat up, rickety piece of shit to begin with. So I slap it on there, and I'm trying to play, and this bass drum sliding forward just like crazy. So I see this old Mexican guy comes walking in. I mean, this guy had to be like 70-something years old. Old guy is carrying this big fucking boulder. He fucking comes in and slaps it in front of my fucking bass drum. I'm like, what the fuck? So I sit back, and we just started doing it. We dialed it all in and kicked some ass, and the crowd was fucking raging. And it was like, wow, this is fucking, it was actually a great fucking show. But at first I was freaked the fuck out with this 3-piece drum set that was just falling apart. But I manipulated it and got the job done. It was just one of those things I'll never forget ever in my lifetime.
I mean, how many times have you felt like, God damn it, I didn't do my best, and you are too fucking hard on yourself, and you go off stage, and suddenly there's a fucking 14, 15, 16-year-old person comes up to you with the fucking metal patches and pins, and it's like, oh, that was fucking killer. And you told them, no, man, that was fucking shit. How many times has that happened? I mean,
yeah, the same thing where I've had some horrible performances where I know I've just choked it, just not on like I should be. And people just love it and think it's the best thing they ever seen in their lives. And you don't want to be like, fuck that. I totally choked, man. And I have sometimes said that when it just depends on my mood. If I'm really pissed off about it, I'll fucking just be like, that sucked. But I try not to now. There's been times where I'll just bite my tongue and be like, yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. Just appreciate the fact that someone appreciated your garbage, no matter whether it was or not, they still liked it. So that's the most important thing. So you kind of just have to overlook that and be grateful no matter what, honestly. So yeah, but I've had it happen where I've been just like horrible and people are like, it's great. And then they're like, oh, but it's not, but thanks.
yeah, but I mean, when you say that, that's your opinion because you know that you can do better. When you're fucking high on adrenaline, you don't care about what the double bass sounds like or if it's missing a cymbal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just imagine like Dennis the Manace, like 14 years old, watching your favorite band. So I guess that's the mindset you have to have. You have to be critical about yourself, but still.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah.
We are gonna do a film reference. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, who are you, and who is Lance, and who is Chuck?
Boy, that's a tough one, man. I'll tell you. Jesus, you're throwing me for a left hook here, ain't you? Damn. I guess I'm the fucking good and the bad. Chuck's the ugly. Imagine. I don't know. Lance, he's just there. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Fuck. Oh man. Okay, I'm the bad. Lance is the good, and Chuck's the ugly. Okay, all right, we'll go with that. I'm a bad guy. I'm just so horrible, ghastly. Look at this fucking long-haired, scary-looking hippie.
Holy shit! I actually okay. If we like would if you could change one word in that one, I mean, if you can switch good, bad, or ugly to horny.
Jiggity, jiggity. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see. Yeah, hey, I'm proud of my fucking testosterone levels. They're not bad, man. At the age I'm at, I'm still the tiger I was when I was a kid. So it's all good. Yeah, man. No problem.
And the situation that we're in right now, I mean, fucking Corona is fucking boring. So this is one of the last questions. So let's just deal with it. We won't talk about politics because that's just too fucked up right now. But does the joy of releasing a new album overshadow the boring times that we are all in?
Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for that, it would just be so fucking gloomy, tell you. But that definitely gave me a huge boost in like morale and confidence and just everything, because when things are seeming so gloomy and down and dismal, which they have been, that sheds a ray of hope, that something new is coming out and people are enjoying it. Right now, we can't perform it live, but at least the messages have been sent out. We've got our stuff out. And I'm just hoping that people enjoy it like they're supposed to. And that definitely sheds light on me being in a better mood for sure. It just gives me something to look forward to as far as hopefully there's touring coming, some festivals in Europe this summer. So yeah, it shed huge hope and a ray of light on the shitty year that we had. So yeah.
In general, except from music, what brings you joy in your life?
Just being able to be fucking happy and live a healthy life. That's being healthy is really important. And that's the key to being happy, is just to have a healthy, happy life. But what brings me joy, really, I mean, I love playing my drums, obviously. My little practice kit behind me here, which you probably can't really see, but
Yeah.
jam on it. It's double bass,
Shows
and
around, man.
so
Shows around. If you want to, yeah.
Well, I mean, I just gave you a view of the kit, but yeah, it's just my little practice room here. It's kind of tight, but this is where I jam out and get away from things. And so that brings me joy. But just being out, man, I'm an outdoor person. I like to be outside. I like to be in the woods. I love nature. So just to be out partying and just relaxing, having a good time, that to me is it's a simple thing, but sometimes the simple things in life are the best things in life. That's my motto, man. Some of the best things in life are free. And just try not to forget that, everybody. And that's it, man. That's what makes me happy. Just being outside and fishing. I like to go fishing, man. If I'm out fishing, man, I'm fucking happy too. Casting a line, hitting the ball, whatever. So yeah, that brings me happiness. Music, life, just a good quality of life, man.
Yeah, fucking cool, man. And is there anything that you would like to add? Some topic that we haven't talked about? Maybe like promote some new shit. What's the plans of Macabre? Maybe something like that. And
well, we're gonna start working on a new album soon. We're actually gonna get ready to start practicing here to write the next full LP, which hopefully will get out ASAP, not 10 years from now.
yeah.
It doesn't take another 10 years, everybody. So that's happening. We're working on another LP. We're also going to start working on a minstrels album with me on it this time too, not just Chuck and Lance, where it's like campfire songs, but I'm actually playing acoustic drums on it. So that should be interesting. It's a full album. Well, we'll see about a full LP. I don't know, but it's going to be definitely some songs, of us acoustically. So that's going to be coming too. So we have plans for future music, definitely. It's all in the works right now. We're going to start working on stuff. So that's what's happening. And hopefully we can get to the touring this summer coming up here so we can meet everybody again and do some partying and play some live shows. But yeah, so we're working on new stuff as we speak, pretty much.
Yeah, cool. I guess we're going to stay here for like a minute or two. But for the viewers at home, thank you very much for watching, and fucking stay healthy, stay fucking brutal, and see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Insert jingle here.
Wheelmust, we're coming to get your ugly face on camera. Wheelmust.
Hello, me again. Just a reminder, I'm on Patreon, as I said before.